Yo guys, it's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another video, and we're back at Boston Billiard, and I know the PLO experiment has been a lot of fun. We've had 3 consecutive sessions, but today we're back at playing Hold'em. I think we'll be on the 1-3 or 2-5 tables. We'll see how it goes, and that's all we got. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the PLO experiment. A lot more PLO coming this year for sure. It's just a lot of fun and trying to expand my experience playing poker. So that's a great time. But before we get into the video, I just want to ask you guys, you know, it does take a while to edit these videos and make these videos for you guys. So if you could just smash that like button. It only takes half a second, a millisecond for you to do that. So scroll down there, click that like button. It's always much appreciated. If we can get to 3K likes, that would be an amazing goal to hit. So thank you for the support. Hopefully you enjoy this video. Let's try to run it up and let's get into the video. Sitting down to the 2-5 game here with a $1,000 stack. Little did we know that the player that we had beef with for the last 2 videos, he's back here in our 2-5 table somehow playing Hold'em. I don't know how we run into him all the time, but once again, we are in for a fun treat. First hand in, no time wasted to get involved with him. I have pocket 8 under the gun, and I decided to open this up to $20. The cutoff is the guy that we are talking about that we keep battling with. He makes the call, and now the button 3-bets to 80. Folds back to me, and this seems like a pretty strong line for this button player to be 3-betting me since I'm opening under the gun along with another player, but I think this is a decent spot to set mine and make the call because I know the cutoff is an auto call anyways because he just plays any hands. So maybe we can build a pot and hit a set. So I call for 60 more, and as expected, the cutoff calls as well. Going to a flop which comes 5-5-3 rainbow, total whiff city for us. So I check and the cutoff checks. Now the button c-bets $200. This just doesn't seem like a sizing that's a bluff. Although we do have an overpair, it does seem like I'm behind a lot of higher pocket pairs in his 3-betting range. So out of position, I'm not really sure what I'm looking for on the turn. I decide to let it go. The cutoff folds as well, and the button shows pocket aces as he watches the vlog. Nice hand, Gary. Following that hand with Queen 10 of diamonds in the small blind, there's an under the gun limp and action folds to me. I raise this up to $25 as the under the gun limper is our little nemesis here. He's going to play any 2 hands, and the big blind folds, and now the limper makes the call, so going heads up out of position. Flop comes ace, deuce, 3, 2 hearts, and a diamond. Ace high flops, definitely going to be c-betting here since it's much better for my range. I go for a smaller sizing of $15 since I don't think any larger will make a huge difference. And with this $15 bet, he decides on a call. Going to a turn which comes the ace of diamonds, brings in our backdoor diamond draw and improved here, and taking this line so far, we're going to go rep trips here since I have all the stronger ace X's in range. So we polarize and throw out a much larger bet of $110. Overbetting against this player, trying to put a lot more pressure against smaller pocket pairs or smaller aces. Not sure what he could be holding right now, but he does make the call for 110, off to a river, hoping to improve. The river is the 6 of spades, and that's just not for us. We're out of position, and he's got about $450 in his stack. I think we're going to have to continue the story and continue firing for aggression. This is definitely the player that we're really trying to target here and play hands against. So I continue my story and throw out another large bet of $350. He doesn't think too long before making the fold, and we get this bluff through. Next, with 8-9 of clubs in under the gun, I'm going to open this to 20. We get the +1 to call, and the big blind calls as well, so 3 ways to a flop. Flop is ace 8-3 rainbow, and when the big blind checks to me, I think this is a pretty decent flop all around. Middle pair with an ace out there, we can sometimes semi-bluff this at this flop, so that's what I do. I c-bet $35 with a pair and stronger ace X's in range. Only the big blind makes the call, and we're off to a turn. The turn comes the king of clubs, brings in our backdoor flush draw, and honestly, really great turn to continue betting and continue repping a strong hand. He checks to us, and as much as I do have a little bit of showdown, I don't really think our 8s are good enough here just yet. I size up to $90 just to try to get a better understanding of what his range is, and essentially suck out on a club on the river. With this $90 bet, he obliges with a call, going to a river. The river is the deuce of clubs. It's very beautiful to get there, and for a third time he checks. I'm not sure what to do now and how big I should bet to get ace X to call. Really just targeting one pair of aces here, as that's his most likely holding. So I just throw out a bet of $200, hoping he can be a little bit sticky, but he doesn't think too long before making the fold, saying that he was open-ended on the flop. Hey guys, quick interruption in the video to give a huge thank you and shout out to everybody who bought one of these badass folding is boring hoodies. And I've got a few messages from the people who've already got them and they've seen a ton of action come their way. I mean, how can you not? Like, if you see someone walking around with this, sit down at your table, it's gonna be a good time. So big thank you to everyone who got one. And if you haven't gotten them already, feel free to check out the link down in the description below. It really helps support the channel here and also helps support a local business out in Western Massachusetts who helps print out these sweatshirts and t-shirts. So feel free to check it out. Just want to give a quick promo to you know, these bad boys here. I'm a big fan of them and I'm probably gonna get a few more colors along the way. So you'll definitely see me rocking these at the tables. And yeah, let's just get back right into the video. Next fun spot, Queen Jack of clubs in +1 with an under the gun straddle. Here I'm first to act in this spot, so I'm gonna open this up to $40. The button makes the call, the loose aggro guy that we want to keep playing pots against, and so does the small blind. So in middle position, 3 ways with a playable hand. Flop comes deuce, 5, 7, rainbow. Small blind checks to me, and facing multi-way action, I think I'm going to play this a little bit more face up and check to the aggressive button player. So I just check to him and see what he does. He obliges with another bet, and this time it's a big one of $110. Small blind folds to me, and given how I've seen him play PLO and just seeing how he really likes to amp up the aggression here, I'm thinking this sizing can be leaned towards a bluff sometimes. I do want to get involved with this player, and I think it's really okay to sometimes play a lot looser against them, as although the chips will go in the direction, it's good for the game. So sometimes queen high can be good, not entirely sure, but let's ride the variance against this guy out of position. I call for 110. The turn comes the ace of spades. It's an amazing card, and he only has $300 in his stack. I check here, planning to take a check jam line, considering I have more of the stronger ace X's in range, but he checks it back, unfortunately, so seems like he's afraid of this ace card. The river is the 9 of spades, and here sitting with queen high. Obviously, no good. We have to set the trap and bluff somehow. So let's fold out one pair holdings, and I size up to $175, which is a pretty large portion of his stack. He's very annoyed and makes the fold. So this time we take down another pot with another bluff. Next dicey spot, picking up pocket 10s in the big blind. The under the gun player, same guy we keep battling with, he opens it up to 20. We get the cutoff and small blind to make the call. Now in the big blind here, out of position, we're gonna have to 3-bet here against this loose under the gun player, and we decide to size up to $120. This is pretty large, but pretty standard given how much money's in the middle, and the under the gun player snap calls this $120 3-bet. All the other players fold, and we're going to a flop. The flop is Jack 6-3 rainbow with one card to our over. It's not the most amazing board, but I think we're good enough here, and we've got a bet for value. So I throw out a bet of $95, and he makes the call fairly quickly. Off to a turn, not sure what I don't want to see. The turn comes the 4 of hearts. Looking at his stack, he's got about $400 behind, and I'm really stuck with what the move is. Against someone who can call and open with a very wide range, I think sometimes we can check or we can ship it and merge our turn jamming range for value versus bluffs. So I don't know, feeling kind of stuck and debate between checking and just calling it off or ripping it all in now. And I decide on the higher variance route to rip it all in. This player unfortunately snaps it off, which is just the worst news in the world, for $384 total. Going to a river, which is the 8 of diamonds, sitting with a pair of 10s, not comfortable since he snapped off our jam. He shows us 5-7 offsuit for nailing the gutter on the turn for the nut straight. So nice to know that he's opening 5-7 off under the gun. Not nice that I just doubled him up. In this next hand, welcome to crazy poker. Just strap in for this one, guys. Let's get into it. On the big blind, looking down at 5-7 of spades, the under the gun player, the player that I just doubled up through, opens it up to $15. The cutoff makes the call, small blind makes the call, and now on to me. Putting in $10 more certainly makes a lot of sense, but knowing that he only opened a 15 seems fairly small. Let's put in the 3-bet, man. Let's get crazy. I 3-bet to $90 given that there's 45 in the middle. And the unlegun player once again snap calls the 90. I think we're just in a leveling war against each other or something. Unexpected and unplanned, the cutoff makes the call as well. So in a 3-bet pot, we're going to a flop 3 ways. Flop comes Queen 3 Deuce Rainbow. Well, sitting with 7 high isn't really going to get me anywhere. Checking with 7 high isn't going to let me win the pot either. So we just go ahead and c-bet small, $80 on a relatively dry flop for a 3-bet pot. Only the unlegun player makes the call, and we're going to a turn. Heads up to a turn, which is the 10 of spades. It's very nice to always turn a little bit of equity, and this is just a little bit enough for us to amp up the aggression now. I decide to size up to $335, just going to amp up the aggression, put pressure on holdings, but not too much pressure to be found as he quickly folds his hand. We get another bluff through against this guy. After the craziness, here comes another crazy one. We look down at 10-9 of diamonds on the button. At least we're in position this time. Hijack opens it up to $15. The cutoff makes the call, and once again, we're putting in raising chips. We 3-bet to $60, and after I put in this 3-bet, I realize I've been 3-betting a lot so far today. A lot of hands I've been 3-betting with that I didn't show so far on the vlog, but here we are. The small blind player cold calls my 60. If you can guess it, it's the same guy. Now the hijack player who opened 15 makes the call, and the cutoff makes the call as well. So we're going 4 ways to a flop. Flop comes Queen, Queen, Queen. Nice.
Nice.
I feel like if action checks to me, I've got to bluff at this one since I have most of the stronger pocket pairs in my range. Really just playing range versus range, I think, here. But it doesn't get to that point because action checks to the cutoff, who rips it all in for $215 total. With 10 high, unfortunately, this holding is too weak to be calling off jams. Everyone folds around, and I'm thinking maybe she has a queen for the high hand, but nope, she just shows us pocket 3s and takes down the pot. Nice hand, Katie. We're just going from one fun hand to the next. Ace Queen of Hearts this time in the small blind, and the undergun player opens to 15. Cutoff makes the call, and you know what's going on here. Putting in raising chips, and this time we size up to $75 out of position. The undergun player who opened actually folds, and now the cutoff makes the call. Not entirely sure what's going on here, but we're just going to see a flop and see what happens. Flop comes King 9-7 Rainbow. Well, I have Ace Queen high, and we're going to c-bet this one again. Are you surprised? I c-bet $60, and this cutoff player decides 60 is an adequate price and calls. Let's go to a turn, which is the ace of clubs. This is absolutely beautiful. I think we just got bailed out here with top pair. So I'm out of position. I decided to check here because I don't think I can get much value from worse. So with this check, we can also sometimes induce bluffs, and this time he throws out a bet of $120. This was kind of the plan. Maybe he's bluffing, or really I'm hoping he's bluffing and not playing for value. So I call 120 and see a river. The river is a complete brick. Honestly, don't remember what it was, but I play in flow and check to him now. He throws out a bet of $240, and I'm sticking to the plan. I can be bluff catching here, and I might have induced it from him. I snap it off with ace queen, and he shows us jack 9 offsuit, and we're taking this one down, and nice to hit the miracle turn. Nice to get paid.
Turtle. Thanks for the turtle.
I think the progression of hands and how fun they are keep getting better and better, because this one with pocket 10s in the small blind playing 5-handed, we get the cutoff to open to 20, action folds to me. If I'm going to 3-bet a bunch of trash, we're going to 3-bet hands for value as well, so this one we size up to $80. Now action back to the cutoff, and he actually puts in a 4-bet. 4-bets to a pretty large sizing of 240. And now I'm thinking I'm out of position. It's a pretty terrible spot, but how often is this 4-bet light? Maybe he has seen me 3-bet a very high percentage and might be targeting the lower end of my 3-betting range. So I'm not entirely sure, but playing 4-bet pots out of position with a semi-marginal hand seems to be a pretty terrible spot. but I don't know. Maybe he has ace king or something like that. Not entirely sure, but we toss in chips for a call and off to a flop we go. The flop comes 9, deuce, 4, 2 spades. I check to him playing in flow, and he c-bets $200. Well, if I'm calling pre-flop, I feel like I should be calling on this flop as well. Maybe I'm peeling one, maybe I just want to get some information. I'm not entirely sure, but if I put him on some sort of ace-king, ace-queen holding, how am I supposed to fold when I also have an overpair? So I just make the call for 200, and we're going to a turn. The turn is the 7 of spades, pretty terrible card as obviously all of his ace X of spades gets there. I check, and he announces a bet of all in, and it's a total of $520. I think with the spade turning, it's pretty close to a fold, but at the time, I was really trying to talk myself into a call. I asked myself how often or if he's capable of bluffing for 100 big blinds. Honestly, I answered that question with I don't really know, but let's find out. So I just toss in the call. In hindsight, looks like a pretty awful play to be calling off here, but hopefully we can get lucky. The river is a complete blank. It's a deuce. He shows us pocket queens, and yeah, this was a big time punt. I think even pocket tens with a 10 of spades is going to be at the bottom of our calling range, but you live and you learn, right? Another edition of Rampage punts. Here, actually punting money. Last hand of the session, this one gets a little juicy. Jack 10 offsuit on the button, and it's a 3-way limped pot. Cut off limps, I put in $5 for a limp, and the big blind checks his option. Flop comes Jack 10, 8, 2 hearts. The big blind throws out a bet of $15, and action folds to me. This is the same player we've been battling out against. Let's try to get some more money in there because he can definitely be betting with a bunch of random cards. I raise this up to $50 in position, and very quickly, we get some interesting news because he puts in a 3-bet to $250. Well, given this action now, I don't know how many bluffs he has, but I think sometimes against this player, we're going to have to make the call because it seems fairly likely since he sucked out on us earlier in the session, we can suck out on him, right? I toss in $200 more. The turn comes the Miracle Jack. He snap rips it all in, and I snap it off for $580 total. The river, total brick, and he shows us 9-7 of spades, and hey, I told you guys, very likely that we'd suck out. We win a big one, and that's going to wrap up our session today. That session was ridiculous. The last 3 hands that we went over literally all happened back to back to back. A lot happened near the end of my session there. We were very, very stupid with 10s, too sticky, a little too sticky. We were being stupid. That was just being dumb. But after stacking off, we suck out with the Jack 10, and end of the day, we were in the game for 1580, out of the game for 1770. So that's a profit of a small amount, but still a profit. That's all I can say. What an absolutely wild session. Going back to our old usual self, getting into a lot of hands, playing really big pots, playing really dumb, and then sucking out at the end and somehow walking away up very, very small. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please, if we can smash that like button, hit 3K likes, that would be amazing. It'd be much appreciated. And after watching this video, I hopefully enjoyed the roller coaster ride. We are going to Vegas pretty soon in a week or so, so you know, if you made it this far, sneak preview teaser, going to Vegas. It should be a good time, so be on the lookout for those vlogs. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.